Hey, what's up guys, over here, and welcome to the last question mark challenge here for the F1 2018 Russian Grand Prix, being posted straight after the real life Russian Grand Prix, so be sure to let me know what you thought of the real life race in the comments down below. But if you're unfamiliar with this series, we're here at the track in question. We're going to be starting from the back, and we're doing a 25% race around the Sochi Autodrome with Lewis Hamilton this time, the man who looks the favourite for the World Championship after winning the Singapore Grand Prix. And obviously Mercedes has been known to be very, very good around Sochi Autodrome. I think that literally they've won every single race that has gone. So unless I've just jinxed it now, I think they're looking probably good for another win just gone. Valtteri Bottas got on pole position yesterday on Saturday. Surprisingly, to a lot of people's surprise, but to be fair, he did also win the 2017 Russian Grand Prix. So the point is, Mercedes are usually very, very strong around here. So we're going to be driving with Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes car and seeing how far we can get up the order from last place on the grid. Being a 25% race means it's nice and short, but also means we have to make the moves when they count. We can't be stuck behind a traffic slower car for even half a lap, really, because that will cost us maybe 1 or 2 positions right at the end of the challenge when we get up towards the podium position. And obviously, in the Mercedes car, we're hoping to get from last to a podium position. That is the goal really here today. It's going to be a one-stop, much like probably like the real-life Grand Prix, unfortunately. Hypersoft tyre to the Ultrasoft tyre. Plenty of fuel on the car to push nice and hard on the rich mix and kind of abuse the Mercedes engine in the back of this car. Let's get going then. We go to 5 red lights then for this challenge here at the Russian Grand Prix with Lewis Hamilton. As the 5 red lights are out and we're underway for 13 laps here at Sochi. Bit of a mediocre start there off the 5 red lights, but into turn 1 will be any kind of carnage and destruction, much like we had at Survive Russia in that video earlier on in the week. No such contact and damage and carnage into there, so we can go down the inside nice and clearly into turn 1, down the inside of about 5 cars there, trying to get up into P15, down to P17 now on the exit. Battling Brendan Hartley gives us a good squeeze on the exit. Right around the outside though of turn 3, the hand of anger goes up in the cockpit there, whereas we see a Sauber and Williams go neck and neck as well. We just about managed to get through up into P15, down the inside of Pierre Gasly as well, and come out there unscathed. And now we're right on the back of Stoffel Van Dorn. Both McLaren cars pretty piss poor in qualifying. I don't know how they're going to do in the race. Obviously, always the unique kind of way I do these videos. I'm doing the commentary before I even know what's happened in the real life Grand Prix, so a good chance for me to jinx or predict anything there. But Van Dorn, a very easy overtake then for Hamilton and ourselves. And now we're right at the back of Charles Leclerc, who did a very good job obviously in qualifying. Both Saubers obviously started in the top 10 by default. You know, the two Red Bull cars and 2 Toro Rossos with engine penalties. Pretty frustrating actually, to be fair, because Q2 was pretty much the most boring thing you've ever seen in Formula 1 here at Russia. I mean, the Russian Grand Prix on the weekend is not the most thrilling weekend anyway. And then yesterday and Saturday, Q2, I don't know if any of you guys fell asleep. I nearly did fall asleep just seeing no one important go out there, because pretty much the top 10 was sealed as soon as you saw the Renaults also not go out, because tactically the Renaults didn't need to go out because they would have gone up the order anyway due to Red Bull and Toro Rosso's engine penalty. So bit of a harsh one there for them, but at the moment obviously Red Bull are up there in the order. Ricciardo and Verstappen on this game version of the Russian Grand Prix. So we're now up into P13. I've been talking about all of that. We overtook the Sauber and the Force India cars. Now we go around the outside of Fernando Alonso into turn 2. Bit of contact was made there as I tried to kind of miscalculate how much room Alonso was going to give me. But then here we go now down the inside of turn 3. Squeeze him out and we're up into P12 then. So actually a little bit of a slow progression here. I was hoping I could get up into P12 probably by the end of lap 1. And only it's taken us now to the end of lap 2 really to get on the back of P11. So bit of a slow start, so I'm not too sure if the podium would be on for us. We'll have to see really if we can get past Esteban Ocon in timely fashion here. But the Force India, we know, is a pretty slippery car on the video game at least. So let's try and see if we can go around the outside though. Downforce wise, doesn't have it. Here we go around the outside of the Frenchman as Vettel sets the fast lap of the Grand Prix. Probably stark contrast to the real life race where the Ferraris seemingly have no pace against the Mercedes cars, Russia IRL. Next up then is Carlos Sainz, who's in a pretty lofty position. I mean, I think both him and Hulkenberg in a very, very good position there, surprisingly. And actually Magnussen also right up there. There's a car off, and it's going to be Hulkenberg. Speak of the devil there. He's slow after being pushed off circuit by Romain Grosjean, and Sainz also gets caught up in his teammates' dirty air there. And we make a double pass then on both Renault Works cars, and we're up into P9. And Grosjean, though, the culprit that looked to push off Hulkenberg there and set him off there. So can we try and overtake the Haas then? Unfortunately, don't catch him up until the very end of the back straight then. And even then, with DRS unable to make a dive down the inside there. So, surprised once again at the pace of some of these midfield cars. But now, swing through, bit of an undercut racing line there for us compared to the Frenchman. Down the inside, hit the apex on that off-camber chicane, and we're up into P8 then. The next car up then is Daniel Ricciardo, way down the order actually. I would have thought he would have been up in at least P4 or P5 behind the Ferrari cars and my teammate Valtteri Bottas there, but no, he's behind the Force India and the other Haas of Kevin Magnussen. So Ricciardo really struggling at the moment in this little 13-lap sprint race here at the Russian Grand Prix. As we move on to lap 4 then, closing up on Ricciardo. We're gaining and gaining. Will it be enough though to make a move to the inside? We're going to have a little look at a pop, but Ricciardo just about chopped us off there at the apex there. Would have definitely been a bit of contact and front wing off there if I kept my nose in there. So we remain behind, and literally this is exactly the opposite of what I need. Literally what I said, we can't afford to be stuck in traffic. Even if the traffic's down Ricciardo, you know, he's relatively going to be quite fast here, but he's still going to be slower than what we want to go at. And ahead of him is Magnussen and the other Force India of Sergio Perez. So those two definitely aren't going to be going as fast as I want to, and so this is rather annoying really that we're going to get held up now for an entire lap, it looks like now, on lap 5, as none of them come in for an early pit stop, much to my dismay. And so into turn 2 with DRS still open, yet to catch up to Ricciardo really, as now there's a side-by-side moment there for Sergio Perez, and he's battling, I think that's my teammate maybe, Valtteri Bottas going slowly for some reason there, as now I try and have a look round the outside of Ricciardo. Got the momentum there, got the inertia down the inside, and we make it stick up into P7. Little twitch of oversteer on the exit, but we do get the Aussie man, and now can we try and overtake K-Mag, then the second ASCAR of the afternoon. But I think that is Valtteri Bottas then up ahead, just ahead of Perez, with a major struggle. So it's Verstappen then, he must be in third place, then Vettel in first and Raikkonen second, I think, at the moment. So for some reason, Bottas with an issue then in this race, going slower than normal as he's now being attacked by Perez. We're going to go down the inside of a sleeping Kevin Magnussen and maybe make the overtake underneath the bridge. Yes, we do, up into P6, and now this is the second pink car of the afternoon to overtake, but he comes in the pit lane actually on that lap, so he makes an earlier pit stop on lap 6. We continue on to overtake Bottas before. I have a feeling Bottas might be coming in though on this lap for his pit stop, so I need to make sure I overtake him so I can come in, because I want to come in this lap. My default pit strategy was last lap, but I felt like I'll try and overtake Bottas first and try and get a bit of an overcut maybe. So this is pretty crucial because I need to get ahead of him because he'll come in behind me in the pit stop. So pretty crucial that I get ahead of him so that he doesn't hold me up and double stack me basically into the pit lane there. But confirmation, Verstappen is indeed the man in third place, then followed by a 1-2 for Ferrari. Pretty much unless something special happens in the race, just gone in real life. I doubt it'll be a 1-2 for Ferrari by the end of the real life Russian Grand Prix, but here's hoping for the sake of an exciting championship fight that I just jinxed that and something will happen to both Mercedes cars, but probably evidently won't, because it really, like I said, it really is a Mercedes track basically. They may as well change it to be sponsored by Mercedes. It may as well be called the Mercedes Sochi Russian Grand Prix basically, because they just own this circuit pretty much at this point. A good pit stop then for us, no dramas of being held up also by slower other cars in the pit lane. You see Sainz there, Force India, a whole heap of cars actually making pit stops there, so we could have definitely been held up by others like we have done in the career mode in the past there. So no dramas there. We wait for the line and then we go and power on high ERS mode and rich mix. We got a decent amount of fuel left, but not too much to play around with, so we have to watch out for that. And Ricciardo comes out ahead of us then, so we're going to have to overtake the Aussie man before we even get on the back then of that Force India to get up into P4, and I think that might be the maximum we can hope for today. But here we go then, maybe a pounce on the Aussie man on the outside of turn 2 like we did to Alonso this time around. No contact made, but Ricciardo gets the better traction. We're a little bit wayward on the exit into turn 3, but here we go once more, gaining that momentum and having the inertia around the corner to the inside then for the next corner. Very tricky braking zone, but we make it work there, and once again deja vu, we make the pass on Daniel Ricciardo in that same spot the track, and we're up into P5 now, and we'll go chasing after Sergio Perez for the final position I think we can hope for in this race. So last to P4 I think it will be. Not too bad considering the traffic we had beforehand, but still a little bit disappointing. But to say that Bottas is going to be behind us then, I would say that's successful, you know, starting from last place. If you beat your teammate from last place, I'd call that a massive success then, especially if he starts at the tail, the kind of sharp end of the grid, as we now overtake Perez then very easily. Bit of a lock-up, but went deep into the bridge section, but still nonetheless made it work. But it's going to be Sebastian Vettel then that has won the Russian Grand Prix here for us. Kimi Raikkonen second place, Verstappen third, and we get P4 from last place on the grid. Guys, if you did enjoy the video, hit that like button. Let me know your thought in the comments below of that overtaking fest. And guys, also, as I said, this video being uploaded straight after the real-life Russian Grand Prix, so let me know your thoughts of the real-life race, and let me know if I jinxed anything or I did actually call anything in that video, be it, I don't know, the fastest lap, the race winner, or where Hamilton came. I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see how that works out. I'm sure it'll be an enthralling Grand Prix. The Russian Grand Prix always is one. But anyway, guys, that's been this video then. If you're new around here, do get subscribed for weekly, for long content. I've been Alfa. Hope you enjoy the day, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.